Good morning, American literature students, and welcome to week 4 of the semester. So for us, we're getting close to the halfway point since this is only a half semester class. So congratulations for making it this far. What I'd like to talk about is a couple things. One is exam number 1, which is this week. It opens this morning, in fact. If you're watching this video, then exam number 1 is available for you now. Now, ideally, what was supposed to happen is that this exam would have covered everything from the Spanish conquistadors all the way to the founding fathers. But since I had to revise the schedule, I have decided to make it only from the Spanish conquistadors to Anne Bradstreet and Phyllis Wheatley. So the founding fathers will be on exam number 2. Now, what that means is that if you posted on something in week 2, like say the founding fathers or Edgar Allan Poe or something like that, I would recommend that you go ahead and read the poetry and do the posting on Bradstreet and Wheatley before you take the exam. Now, what I've done to make it easier for you is I have emailed you through the D2L email a copy of the study sheet for exam 1. So that study sheet should help you. This is an open book exam. You have a 2-hour window to take it in, although you likely won't need the full 2 hours. In fact, most of you will probably have this done in like half an hour. There are only 20 questions. The first 12 are general knowledge, and the final 8 are direct quotes from your readings. If you understand each author and the works that they wrote, then the direct quotes should not be that difficult. Everything's multiple choice. You will know as soon as you finish the exam what your score was on the exam. And you'll I think I've got it set up so, be able to go into the answers you missed and see why you missed them. Alright, so that's exam 1. What I want you to look at if you're reading Bradstreet and Wheatley this week is that Anne Bradstreet struggled with her faith. She was a Puritan, and we all think, oh, Puritans were boring, and they always went to church, and they never did anything except read the Bible and stuff like that. But they, like many of us, struggled with her faith, especially in times of great trial. Anne Bradstreet also loved her family. She wrote lots of poems to her children, to her father, and to her husband. So those are some selections that we've got from Anne Bradstreet. Phyllis Wheatley is a very interesting story. She's a young lady who was actually captured in Africa while she was a slave, or while she was very young, like about, I want to say 7 or 8, and then brought to America to become a slave. Luckily for her, she was purchased by the Wheatley family, who actually educated her, which was extremely rare for slaves, and she actually wrote poetry that was so good that she was actually able to purchase her freedom from it. She also was a guest of George Washington's at Mount Vernon, and so remember that when you read the George Washington poem. A lot of her themes include slavery itself and how she thinks that, well, I've been saved by God, so she's also got very strong faith. Despite the fact that she was a slave, she thinks that being kidnapped and brought to America to be a slave was actually a blessing. And then, of course, she was a voice during the American debates over whether to secede from England or not. So her poetry, especially Dartmouth, and George Washington for that matter, are all pro, hey, let's break away from England. And she was smart enough to be able to write that in an eloquent way. So I think you're going to enjoy both these young ladies. Actually, Anne Bradstreet lived to be way beyond a young lady. But I think you'll enjoy both these ladies and enjoy their poetry. So that's about all I have, really. Just be ready for exam 1. It will shut down next Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Oh, that reminds me. The quizzes on the MLA and on the research. If you missed it, you missed it. That train has left the station. There's not many that missed it. Most everybody took these quizzes. And I'm happy to say that just about everybody passed both quizzes, and many of you got A's on both quizzes. So I'm pleased to see that. Now, what I'm hoping will happen is that these quizzes will also have helped you with your research paper, particularly with formatting and how to do research. That's the main reason for these quizzes. They're not to, give you extra busy work and to try to, give you a low score. They are designed to give you the skills necessary to do the research and to format your paper properly. Because if you look at the rubric on the research paper, you'll see that a high percentage of it is formatting and quotations and works cited page. So those are things you're going to need to pay close attention to. So good job for most of you on those 2 quizzes. Most of you did extremely well, and I'm very pleased by that. So other than that, I've got nothing else. So feel free to email me any questions, and I will answer them as quickly as possible, especially if you send them during the school day. I should be able to get to them pretty quickly. Also, feel free to call me on my office phone during my office hours, which are posted on the syllabus, or if you happen to be in Albany or on campus, drop by and say hi. It's always nice to put a face to the name, because for many of you, I would just know the name only. So it'd be nice to actually meet many of you and to clear up anything you have questions on. I'm always happy to help with that. So with that in mind, happy researching and happy discussion postings, and good luck on that quiz.